All right, action.
All right.
Okay, let's try that again.
Okay. You know my mind always go blank. I was legit just practicing. Now I don't know what to say. Okay. Hey y'all. So welcome back to Small Talk. In today's discussion, we're gonna be talking about online dating. So I'm gonna let our guests introduce themselves to you, and then we're gonna jump right into the discussion.
Hi everyone, Jelon Stewart.
Andre Royal.
Hey, Jelon and Andre, thank you so much for being a part. So, if y'all are ready, we're just gonna jump right into the discussion.
Okay. So the first question is, what are your views on online dating, and why is your view that way?
Online dating, I think originally I thought like negatively about it, just because I'm kind of old school. I would rather, meet in person, have those conversations in person. But I think now I'm trying to adapt to the culture now, and the culture now is all this social media. So I've been working on being more open to the online dating thing. So I think it's okay. I don't have anything against it.
Yes, we embrace open-mindedness. Okay, what about you, Andre?
I believe it's just another opportunity for people to interact and to meet and to see where it goes from there.
So it sounds like y'all are both for online dating. So since I have like a yes for online, have you ever dated online before and in 2020?
Yes, I've actually dated online before, a few years ago, and I'm actually in 2020. I've did some online dating
Okay.
for sure.
I've slid into a DM or two
Okay. Slide. We like to slide.
just to see. I went on one outing from it. The others nothing ever generated from it, but I'm attempting to put myself out there and to use
Okay.
different methods of meeting new individuals.
So it sounds like you're also more open-minded, like these days, to try it again.
Yes.
Okay.
So like for you, Jelon, you said that you tried it a few years ago and then you're currently on there now. So how was that experience for you then compared to now, especially since we're in COVID?
I think it's more of just my mindset, right? So back then, I think I was just on there. Yeah, if I meet somebody, I meet somebody, but I don't want to put too much pressure on anybody of me trying to get into a relationship. Now, I feel like I'm more intentional. I don't really want to waste my time that much anymore. I feel like I'm getting a little bit older, so I need to be more intentional with my conversations, intentional with my time.
Okay.
So I think now it's probably better now.
So what does that look like for you? So you said before you were just like really lax, and now you're more intentional. So what does that look like for you? What does intentionality look like for you?
Up front, I'm telling
Okay.
up front, I'm going to, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I expect. And if they're not with it, then they won't waste my time. So,
And for you, Andre, you said that you kind of dabbled in it in the past, and now you're a little more open-minded to like trying it again. How do you think you'll be once you try it again? Do you feel like you're going to be intentional, kind of like what Jelon was saying, or you think you're going to have more of a laid-back approach since you're kind of like getting back in the game? What does that look like for you?
It'll probably be just more laid back more than anything. If it happens, it happens. In whatever manner, in whatever manner or forms it happens, it happens. Now, am I being super active in pursuing anyone in any way, shape, or form? I'm not. If a particular individual grabs my eye, be it on an online platform or in person, then that's when I'm more intentional about, let me see what this individual is about. But as far as me just actually setting up an online dating profile on a website, I haven't done that, and will I do it? We shall see.
Is there a difference between how you date online versus dating in person? Because sometimes online you might be a little bit bolder because you're behind a computer or an app, whereas in person you might see somebody and you might be a little slower to like initiate something. So like, does that look different for you, like online versus in person?
it does actually. I think I am a little more bolder online.
Let's talk about it.
But I had a friend that told me that I needed to work on my small talk just out in public with different people so that I could initiate more conversations. Because a lot of times, some men may be shy, they may be scared. So I But online, it's easy. I mean, I don't have to be embarrassed about anything. I don't really know you, so hey, I'll go for it. Now, all the time, no, but yeah, definitely a little different online.
So what would your small talk look like? Like if you were doing it in person? Like is it like literally holding just a conversation and asking certain questions? Like what do they mean about like
Oh yeah, small talk, more of just conversation, just random conversation. Could be about anything that I see. Got on a nice shirt, nice shoes, compliment, to just start a conversation and get them engaged and see where it goes. If it goes somewhere, cool. If it don't, hey, it's no big deal. At least I did my part doing the small talk.
Okay, and then you said online you're a bit more bolder, where you are probably for sliding the DM.
Yeah, I'll slide in the DM.
More.
I'll slide in the DM. I would rather not slide in the DM.
Okay.
But I will for sure.
Okay. What about you, Andre?
For the times that I've reached out and send a message to somebody online, I'll kind of see if we click or connect just via the messages right there. And then oftentimes what I'll try and do is set up something either to meet up in some way, shape, or form for something just informal, just where I can see you in person, get a feel for who you are in person away from the screen. And also that allows for, I believe my personality shines better in person versus online. I think my goofiness and the jovialness of my personality is a better sell in person. And so I want that opportunity to shine, and they get an opportunity to see, you know, the height and everything else.
Yeah.
In addition to everything else. And so that's why I want to put that out there. And then once I see that person and meet that person face to face, I can make a decision pretty quickly. Do I want to continue this on, or do I want to just end it and move on?
You interact better face to face.
I do.
So do you think that's a guy thing? Because I feel like some guys are like bad at texting, and then you meet up with them, and that's like they're like totally different. Do you think that's like a guy thing? And y'all can both answer that, because I've met guys where like their conversation like probably sucks, and then you meet up with them and you're like, your personality shines, like literally what you're saying. You can really like bounce back and just share like more banter. So I'm just curious just to know if that's a guy thing or is that like an everybody thing?
I think it varies from person to person. I think some men have developed the talent of where their online persona, their text message persona, it is able to charm and to win an individual just based on the messages that they're sending using the device or using a messenger or some way, shape, or form like that. And I think other guys have a personality like myself, where it's more seeing me in person is when an opportunity you get to see me shine. Some are blessed and have both. I ain't that guy.
Okay, what you think?
Yeah, I think it's rare to really find somebody that has great conversation via text or via messages. I mean, I would rather have the meeting in person or a phone conversation, because I've noticed just with the few people that I have dated, through the text message, I'm like, okay, it's boring. But as soon as we have a phone call or a FaceTime or we go on a date, it's like nonstop. It's very different. So, I mean, but it varies. But it's rare. It's rare for somebody to have good conversation via messages.
So you being a man, how do you feel if a woman were to initiate something with you first? Like if that was like online or in person, like if she came up to you, initiated conversation, or slid in your DMs, like how do you feel about that?
This will sound shallow, I admit. If I'm attracted to her, awesome, yay, boom, but then I can take over and go from there. If I'm not, I'm like, and you just say thank you and just keep it moving. My preference is it for me to be the aggressor. Like if she wants to make herself available to do the stuff that women can do to make themselves like, hey, and then I'm like, okay, cool, let me shoot my shot.
I'll keep up with you putting down.
Yeah. So that's awesome, but that's my preference. I need to be the aggressor. And if she's attractive, she says hi, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Perfect.
So switching gears, how do y'all feel about long distance relationships? Long distance for some could be like maybe you're in the same state and you're just like 2 hours, 3 hours away. Because granted, Texas is big, right? So that can be long distance. But then for some people, it's literally like, no, you're in a whole different state and I have to get on the plane. So what is long distance for you? Maybe let's define that and then.
Long distance is we're not in the same city.
Okay, so, city, not even state. So not in the same city. What about you? What is long distance for you then?
If I have to get, if I have to, not in the same city. If I have to get an overnight stay or something, if it requires an overnight stay or something.
Okay, so with your definitions of long distance,
Do you prefer long distance? Like, not prefer, but what are your views on long distance?
I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like long distance because I like quality time. I need
Girl,
to
is
be,
that your
I
top
need to
love
be in
language?
person. It's my
Me
love
too.
language. It's number one. Quality time is my number one. So if I can't see you that much, it really bothers me, and I feel like a lot of issues will come.
Okay.
But hey, I mean, maybe it makes you stronger, but I'm just, it's not for me. I've tried it before, just, dating someone and, states away, and it just didn't work. Now, I feel like living here in DFW is potential for long distance relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I live far, you can drive an hour, and to me, that's low-key long distance, but I'll do that. That's not too bad.
So what was the biggest thing for you that, like, you said in the past you tried long distance, like, what was that thing that didn't work outside of, like, the quality time? Or was that it?
I think that's the main thing.
Okay.
For me, that would have to be the main thing. I have to see you. I think we did spend a lot of time on the phone, so that's good, but I need to be with you. I need to be around you. I need to see how you are really in person, not just over the phone. I need that experience. So.
Okay. What about for you?
My preference is to have the person local, and for the same reason. I want to spend some time with that person and interact with you on a consistent basis, because I'm not just trying to date somebody for a lengthy period of time. I'm trying to make some stuff happen. And so, and then I think the curveball of the long distance starts to add some more complications in there, because if I'm seeing, if I'm consistently dating somebody, I'm seeing this woman for a particular reason, because I'm setting up for her to be my wife. And so, man, I don't want my wife to be, 400 miles away. My preference is for her to be local versus.
More complicated.
Correct.
To, like, then transition with things that
Yes.
do get serious.
Correct.
Okay.
That's another. I don't want to use the word obstacle, but a challenge. That's like we'll use that. It's another challenge that you have to overcome.
Yeah.
And the newness of a relationship, you're trying to get to know someone. You're trying to make that determination, because you're not just kicking it with somebody. If you're dating someone, you're dating with a purpose. I believe both individuals in this day and age, you're dating with a purpose and you're trying to accomplish something. And so if you're trying to accomplish something, you want to lessen some of those challenges that are out there that are going to come with just getting to know a new person.
Okay. So do you feel like your views might change about not online dating, but like long distance relationships, since we're in COVID anyway, and you might not get to see that person anyway? So like, are you willing to explore like other cities now since COVID is present?
The only city that I would consider would be Houston, just because it's close. Houston, so I'm always going back. My parents are there. I got siblings there, so that would probably be the easiest for me. Maybe other surrounding cities, maybe, but nothing more than 3 hours to drive.
Okay, so 3 hours.
Yeah.
What about for you?
Honestly, I haven't even considered dating during COVID. It's been something that's been on the far back burner. It's just really more about just my heart's just not in it, as far as just trying to put myself out there during a pandemic and while everybody's trying to figure out what the next step is for the world.
Yeah. You think
So
it complicates more things, or?
I think everybody's trying to keep themselves, safe and I think, honestly, during COVID as well, during this Corona situation, I want to make sure that I'm making the best decision, and I'm not making the decision out of the loneliness of the situation. Because I think a lot of people, especially single people, if you're not you don't have the opportunity to go spend the time with your friends, you're by yourself a lot. And I think Some individuals may battle loneliness, and therefore you may put yourself in a situation with someone just because you don't want to be lonely anymore. And you know, with any person that I'm dating, I want to make sure I'm dating the person for the correct reason for my benefit and for her benefit as well, and not doing something just because I need to be around a person.
Right. So since you are currently dating online, do you feel like more people are intentional now that COVID is present, or do you feel like people are kind of like subscribing to like, I'm lonely and I just want somebody to talk to? How do you feel like that's been?
I think people are lonely. I don't think that it's changed really. I think honestly, dating online is really interesting. You have majority of the people that just want to have fun on there, and then there's a small pocket of people that are probably dating intentionally. So I don't think that has changed, but I do think there's more lonely people out there that may have made it a little bit bigger amount of people that's looking for something intentional. But honestly, most people, I think they're just trying to have fun on there. So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, like I hear that. Well, thank y'all so much for sitting in on this discussion. I feel like it's such a needed discussion, a good discussion to talk about. So before we end, I want to ask, are you single currently?
Yes, I am.
And are you looking?
Yeah.
Yes. Are you single?
I am single.
Are you maybe looking?
I'm open to pursuing the correct individual.
Okay. Well, thank y'all so much again, and y'all tune in for the next one. See you later. Bye.